fresh out the oven.
What is cracking, everybody? It's MegaPieman here, and welcome to a Look at My Map video. This time for something different than Team Fortress 2. This is Open Fortress. It is a standalone source mod for Team Fortress 2 that you don't need Team Fortress 2 to run. It's on its own. It's just built off of Team Fortress 2. I believe it's officially Open Fortress Deathmatch. It originally started as part of TF2 Classic, which was a mod trying to bring back some of the original older stuff from Team Fortress 2 from its beta time period and before a lot of the changes happened to it after release. Open Fortress specifically this map in general, is focused on Deathmatch. Open Fortress is really just kind of whatever. There's different variants of CTF, of Deathmatch. So you've got 4 team games where there's a yellow and a green team and also a purple team instead of just red and blue. But specifically, this game mode that I'm building a map for is Deathmatch, and this is DM Deadlock. Now, the reason why I decided to, check out Open Fortress was because I have experience with Team Fortress 2, some experience with Source, and I wanted to branch out a little bit into something a little bit different. It's not entirely different because it's still built off of TF2. It uses some TF2 assets along with some custom assets, but it still feels like TF2, and it still kind of plays like TF2, even though Deathmatch is much more of an arena shooter, sort of like Unreal Tournament and Quake, and Deathmatch doesn't use a class system. Everybody plays as a mercenary who can pick up and use any of these weapons that are floating around the map. So let's take a look around the map here, shall we? This is the first version of the map, Alpha 1, that is currently in development. DM Deadlock A1, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. I'm not fully sure how testing goes for Open Fortress. I am in the Discord for them, but I want to get the map tested before I work on actually detailing the thing. I've just done a little bit of detailing here and there in parts, but not much, because I want to make sure that the map doesn't suck, before I get to the detailing stage. And I don't own a server, so we'll have to see what in the world I can do for detailing. But one of the big things that I wanted to do with this map is a lot of the maps that are in Open Fortress right now are either versions of existing Team Fortress 2 maps that have been converted to other game modes, like playing Deathmatch on 2Fort, which you can do. It's not great, but you can do it. Some are ports from other games, like Quake, that people have remade, and others are just like, here's a box. You got a box. The whole map is a box. So I wanted to try to make a map that actually felt like a map and wasn't a port from something else. There aren't a whole lot of maps in Open Fortress at this point that are that feel like, no offense to anybody who's made a map for Open Fortress, but there aren't a lot of maps in it that aren't ports or holdovers from other games that really feel like a map. I think Cargo and Skate are the only two I can, off the top of my head, that really feel like their own thing, like specifically made for Open Fortress, and as like a real, I hate to say a real map, because that makes me sound like a jerk, but I hope you get what I mean, Like, something that's not just, here's a room that people spawn in and kill each other. Instead, here's a map that feels like a place. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to diss on anybody's mapping ability here, but I wanted to make a map that felt like a map, instead of a map that felt like a test for something, And that's what I hope to do here with Deadlock. Now, the idea of Deadlock is that it is just a facility on the side of a cliff here. And I put a cliff here because I didn't see cliffs with death pits or anything in any of the other maps, and I wanted to put a death pit in it, so I put a flippin' death pit in it. Sue me! I dare you! And you've got a nice splotch of buildings. You've got buildings over there, and buildings back there. One thing that I specifically wanted to focus on for this map is using angles. As you can see down here, this building is not a box, I guess, is a way to put it. It's not like a crate. It's not a square. I mean, it is a square, it is a rectangle, but it's on an angle. Like this here, this is a square that's used in the grid in Hammer to make. This is a square that uses the grid, but is made at an angle. And I've got quite a few angles going on for this whole thing. As you can see over here, this whole staircase thing, and we got angles, angles, angles. There's a nice Kurt angle right there. A couple more angles going on. This entire doorway is an angle right there. There's more angles over here. The reason why I want to use angles is because I don't use them all that often in my maps, at least up to this point, because they can be a pain in the butt to deal with. Source, or at least the Hammer editor that's used to make things in the Source engine, it likes stuff I mean, this whole building is an angle right there. It likes stuff being on a set grid, and trying to make anything that isn't straight on that grid can be a big pain in the buttocks, which is why I generally don't work with angles up to this point, but I want to get better at it. So I challenged myself with this particular project to try and focus on angles. Have as many angles as I can while still making the map attempt to not suck. And for some reason, I also wanted to use the Badlands Spire. I don't know why. I mean, I sunk it in the ground a bit, so it's not like the complete Badlands Spire. But I don't know why I wanted to do that. It's just, I don't know. People don't use the Badlands Spire for, like, anything, because it's so specific to Badlands. But I think it's a pretty cool-looking prop, and I wanted to use it, so I did. So, yeah. There you go. We got our superpower crits that will last for 25 seconds when you get up here. You've got your rocket launcher down there. You've got your dual akimbo pistols right there. You've got a railgun right there. You know, let's actually switch to a team here. Now, there is music for this that will start up as soon as I pick the class here. Hopefully the music isn't going to be too loud. But there we go. MP... waiting for...
I'm gonna paint this town red.
Ah, come on. Players... 1. Did I do it? Did I do it? Oh, cancel. I bet. I forgot to cancel. So... Did that not work? Okay, we're just gonna wait then. And then respawn. There we go. Alright, anyway. Source. Sometimes, Source. Sometimes. Anyway, here we are in the map as the mercenary, who has not only his own custom model, but custom voice lines, which are pretty freaking cool. And something that I specifically wanted to do with this map was try to get spawn points that weren't awkward. Some of the maps for Open Fortress have really awkward spawn points, especially for the really small maps that just spawn everybody on top of each other. So I tried to make the spawn points spread out, but I specifically didn't want to put spawn points in this area here because that's where the power-up is. I didn't want anybody to be able to spawn in, grab the power-up, and then like automatically and go from there. And I also tried to build my spawn points around conflict zones that I would basically mark with pickups. So if you spawn here, like I just did, you have an option of where you can go. You can go to the left, up here, over this way, grab this nail gun, and fight the people who spawn here. There's a spawn point there, there's a spawn point there, and there's a spawn point there. Or if you spawn here, you can do the same. Grab the nail gun and head over that way. If you spawn over here, you can just run this way and get the flamethrower that's over there and fight the 2 spawn points that are here, and 1 there, or 1 over there. So as you see, the points of conflict was the main thing that I was going for. Or, I mean, you could just spawn here, run this way, shoot that guy with the pistol, shoot the guys that spawn up here with the pistol, and try to fight over them to get down here to the Tommy gun. If you spawn up here, then you can just go down into the Tommy gun. You can go right to the Tommy gun, left to the nail gun, up here, fight these people with your pistol. And if you spawn up here, you can go left to the nail gun, down right, fight this guy for the Tommy gun, or just head out the door and go over here to the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher is specifically in this spot, so you can do this. So you can do this. So you can do this! One more time, Joey. So you can do this. I can't rocket jump today. Wow. There we go. So you can do that, rocket jump up, and grab the power-up. It's not immediate, but it does take some doing. I don't know if the physics are different in Open Fortress. I find myself unable to rocket jump as well as I can. I mean, I'm no pro at rocket jumping in Team Fortress 2. But for some reason, I can't rocket jump like I can in Team Fortress 2 in Open Fortress. It's weird. I don't know what's going on with that. I think the physics may be a little bit different. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, bad at the game. It's very possible. But of course, if you spawn over here, if you spawn here, you can shoot someone who spawned there, somebody spawned there, go around, grab this flamethrower. Flamethrowers don't have air blasts in this mod, which is odd. They also... sometimes they'll light up props. Doesn't look like it's doing it this time. Maybe I actually managed to fix that, but doing some testing, it was lighting up these props for some reason. Anyway, you can fight this guy, you can fight the person that spawns over here, you can fight the person that spawns up there, you can fight the people that spawn over here, there's a guy who spawned there, there's a spawn down here. There's not a spawn in here. Originally, I was thinking of putting the spawn down in this sort of sewer drainage area, but instead I decided to put a weapon in there because of the long sight line here. I didn't want somebody to spawn in, walk forward, and then get a headshot by the railgun. So instead, they spawn over there behind some cover. And you can grab this dynamite pack in here with some health pickups. Little health pickups don't do a whole heck of a lot compared to a med kit, but this game doesn't have armor, which is kind of difficult for getting players to move around a map. From what little bit I've played so far, trying to direct them. A game like Unreal Tournament tries to direct players, especially bots, by using pickups, be them health pickups, or armor pickups, or ammo pickups, or grabbing different weapons. This game has weapons, ammo, and health. It doesn't have armor pickups. So I don't want to use big health pickups all over the dang place, because that's just going to be too much health. Instead, I try to use these small health pickups in order to try and direct players on places that they can go and that they should go. You know, places for cover, places where spawn points are, interesting places in the map, that sort of a thing. Ammo also doesn't seem to be too much of an issue with this game, because a lot of weapons have a good amount of ammo. Like, the least ammo you get is for the Dynamite bundle. That's taken from the beta version of Team Fortress 2. The Demo Man originally had the Dynamite bundle as a grenade option, back when everybody had grenades. But you only get 3 Dynamite bundles, but everything else is pretty good when it comes to ammo. So I don't really think that ammo drops are all that necessary or useful for Open Fortress. The most useful drops are health bits that you can use to overheal a little bit. So I guess that's the most that you have for armor. That's what I tried to do with that. And when it comes to sightlines for Open Fortress, they're not anywhere near as much of a problem as Team Fortress 2. Because in Team Fortress 2, you can just spawn in as a sniper who has a sniper rifle and can headshot everybody. You can do that automatically. In Open Fortress, you have to first grab the railgun or a sniper rifle in order to be able to headshot people. So sightlines aren't as big of an issue, but they are still a thing that you want to keep in mind, because you don't want a massive sightline all the way across your map, you know? And I tried to make specific areas for specific weapons. Like, you've got close-in up here for shotguns and Tommy guns and pistols. You've got a bit of a long range out here for something like the railgun that I'm using. Try and jump and get some headshots over there, get some headshots over here. Of course, you've got this area over down here that you can use explosive for, because you've got all the height. You've got the small area in here, again, good for shotguns, especially that dynamite pack. Chuck the dynamite pack right there, chuck the dynamite pack right there, and you can do pretty well in keeping that area defended. This area in here is another good medium area for fighting. There's spawn over there, spawns up there. A couple of these places I have 2 spawns. Like, I have a spawn here facing this way and a spawn here facing that way, just to try to give players a bit more of an option of where they can spawn in at. And also, I tried to make sure to have more spawns than players that can be in a server. I think the general player number for Open Fortress is 12, so I've got like 15 to 20 spawns. That way players aren't always popping in at the exact same place at the exact same time. This area over here is a bit more open, good for rockets, good for the railgun. Over here you've got yourself the double-barreled shotgun, or the super shotgun, which is a beast of a weapon. But even though that you get the double-barreled shotgun, you can't really utilize it to its best effect right off the bat because of the big open areas. It's probably the most powerful weapon in the map at this point because it can kill people in like one hit up close. But at ranges like here, it's not going to be able to do a whole lot. At a range over here, it's not going to be able to do a whole lot. You can go this way and go around here to get some more close distance from this area. This is going to be a good spot for the super shotgun. Super shotgun will also be kind of okay over here. Originally I had it spotted at here, but changed to the nail gun when I realized how powerful the thing was. But it's good for the close spaces, not good for the open spaces. It'll be good for in this room as well, as long as there are people in there. But hopefully that will balance its power. And that is pretty much it for DM Deadlock Alpha 1. I will see about what I can do about getting this map tested. I don't know how often I'll be able to update it, because I don't know how often I'll be able to test it. And I don't know how many versions there are going to be, because I don't really know how testing goes with Open Fortress, or if, like, the next version will be the release version after I test it and make sure that there's nothing bad broken about it, and that people are okay with the thing. But anyway, you can check the map out in the description below, download it, open up Open Fortress. If you have it downloaded, it's free. It's not a mod, it's a standalone thing. So you don't even have to own Team Fortress 2. You know, Team Fortress 2 is free. But you can download it, check it out, let me know what you think about it, and that is it for me for now. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for taking a look at my map. I'm MegaPieman PhD, and I will talk to you guys later.